This is very, very big, but before we get into it, I just want to say this video contains spoilers for the new Arks of Omen Angron book. If you haven't read it, if you're currently reading it and you don't want to be spoiled, please leave the video right now, because if you don't, you will be spoiled. First and only warning. Now that the Xenos and Heretics have left, let's talk about something big that happens in this Angron book. Now, just to let you know, I'm not going to be covering all the big spoilers. I'm just covering this certain aspect. I will be releasing a full video sometime next week with everything that happens in this book, because it probably is one of the biggest ones so far. The Abaddon one was kind of like that, but this one is just full of epic, awesome stuff. But this thing that I'm about to talk about deserves its own video, because for me, I'm a huge Space Marine fan, and this confirms something that we've been talking about for a while now, and that is, can Primaris Marines be turned to the power of chaos? Can they be influenced? Can they become naughty, bad Primaris Marines? And the answer is yes. Yes, they can. There's something that happens in this book that turns the Primaris Marines to worship KHORNE. So let's jump in and let's go through it all, because this is absolute awesome and madness all at the same time. Now, to put it into context, there is this ancient technology that is found on this planet, and really I need to do a video on this itself, because this is huge. Everything in this book is huge. It's called the CHORAL engine. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. I'm going to put the blurb of text in the background right now. So it is managed to be destroyed by Angron and the forces of chaos, and it unleashes something called the murder curse. And it states, the destruction of the CHORAL engine released an explosion so powerful that it tore Macabel itself in two. The physical detonation was echoed into the warp by an eruption of energies that rapidly grew into a raging warp storm. Fragments of the planet as large as mountain ranges tumbled away into the void. Billions died in a matter of minutes. Now, where does the Primaris corruption come into it? Well, with this murder curse that has been basically echoed because of this device, right, it basically hit a fleet that was sent there to try and help the planet, to try and save the planet from the wrath of Angron. And it just wasn't like, a normal battle fleet. This was an absolute huge fleet. It was actually Indomitus fleet. I'm reading it right now. It was Battle Fleet Quartus, right? So this was one of the Indomitus Crusade fleets that Gilliman himself put together with all the higher-ups, and they've been sending these fleets out to take back certain areas that have been lost to chaos, to push chaos back where they've gained the ground. And these fleets have a lot of resources and a lot of warriors on them. It's not just like Space Marines, it's of course Sisters of Battle, the Sisters of Silence, Custodes, as I mentioned, Space Marines, billions upon billions of Guard, Admech, anything you can think of, right? These are the real deal. These are here to push chaos back. And basically, this fleet now has been declared traitorous because it's succumb to the powers of KHORNE. I'm going to put the bit of text in the background and read it from you so we're all on the same page, because again, this is absolute massive thing to me. Like, the consequences of this is going to be shattering. Hopefully we see some epic stories of this. So this is called The Fall of Quartus. I apologize if I butcher any of the names in here. It says the psychic channels that had so benefited the fleet Quartus bore the corruption energies of the murder curse out across the immense distances. Carmine shockwaves of psychosis and mutation burst quite literally from the receiving astropaths and navigators in dozens of star systems, engulfing task force after task force. 80% of the battle groups, Alpha, Betarus, Dominus, Thorax, Isramus, Jova, and Kelox succumbed. Primaris Space Marines, it says it right there, Primaris Space Marines, Battle Sisters, and even priests and inquisitors fell, along with the common soldiery and serfs. Only the Grey Knights, Sisters of Silence, and the Custodes proved truly to be immune, because of course they have the faith. Custodes can't be corrupted, Grey Knights, all the power and stuff like that. At a stroke, Indomitus Fleet Quartus was not only mortally wounded, but much of its still colossal strength turned traitor. The consequences were dire. Indeed, hordes of corrupted killers began a murderous rampage in KHORNE's name, cutting blood swathes through the recently stabilized region of the Imperium Sanctus. It was not long before the entire Fourth Fleet, this is the entire Fourth Fleet, the entire Fourth Fleet was declared excommunicate traitoris. Millions of loyal Imperial warriors found themselves condemned for deeds they had no part in. It was a betrayal that would have far-reaching consequences for years to come. For me, like I said, this is huge because it's an entire fleet that is being condemned traitoris now. Not only that, all these resources that have now gone to Chaos, as it mentioned there, like everything that was being conquered in the name of the Imperium, taken back, has basically been set ablaze now because of this murder curse. Everything that was, you know, put right has now been put wrong again. Chaos itself has just received like massive reinforcement. Well, KHORNE has received massive reinforcements. You know, all the guard here, the sisters turning, the Space Marines turning. Like, I really wish this book had like actual images of like corrupted, like KHORNE Berserker type Primaris Marines. I don't know what it means for like the future type of models. Are we going to get Primaris type KHORNE Berserker models? I don't know. Are we going to get like chapters like going forward who fell to KHORNE, who were all Primaris based? We've been talking a long time about this because, you know, one of the big things is like, you know, with the Primaris Marines coming in and being technically the new Space Marines, a lot of people were saying, so can they fall to Chaos? I've never really seen like a Primaris Chaos Marine or anything like that. We know that Fabius Bile himself managed to capture some and he was like dissecting them and seeing what they're all about and everything, but we never really got to see the outcome of that, if they turned or if they were used in a, you know, a Chaos type of way. But now the confirmation that we have now is that it has happened. They are doing that, and it's there in the lore. So technically that does mean that we should, well, I say we should, it would be nice to see that echoed in a model range, I personally think. I've always said that Chaos don't deserve Primaris Marines because you have like, you know, you basically have like all your demons and possessed and stuff like that. That is your Primaris stuff. But lore-wise, it's happening. It's right there now in front of us. This is confirmation that the Primaris Marines have been corrupted and they are now going on a bloody crusade. Anyway, Chaprunios, that is enough waffling for me as always. I wanted to make this video because, again, as a Space Marine player, as an Imperium fanboy, this is huge news. I know some people would say, well, you know, we knew that was happening anyway, but this is the proof. This is the proof in the pudding now, which we've actually got it physically written down on a page. The book itself is absolutely fantastic. I'm actually borrowing people's books, pictures of people, because GW have messed my order up a lot with many other people's orders because of warehouse issues, which is probably another video for another time. But yeah, I'd love to get your thoughts, feedback, opinions on this. What do you think? Do you love this? Do you hate this? Tell me what you think in the comment section, and we'll have a nice little chin wag down there as we always do. See you now. Have a great day, and bye-bye.